All right, welcome back to another week, another Monday. Gonna take a look at the market. Getting a little bit of action right now, so I thought now would be a good time to get in here, kind of see what's going on. Again, this is the weekly off the chart stream. We look at Bitcoin, ETH BTC, kind of get a bird's eye view of the market. So let's just dive right in. Looking at Bitcoin here. Same chart from a couple weeks ago. Adjusted this line just a little bit, the diagonal, just to fit it a little bit better. Getting a move here again. We came down into this demand zone. It continues to act as support. Got a strong bounce from there, and now we're coming up to challenge sort of this diagonal. We have a lot going on up here. So a break above this area would be significant. But as it is right now, we have the diagonal, resistance there. We have this resistance that was, you can see, was multi-touch support. That's going to, in theory, that should flip to resistance. And then you have your local highs up here as well. So essentially, we need to first, these two come together perfectly. So I think this is going to be a challenging area to beat. I think most likely we would come up, probably pull back some. And then if we're going to get above it, we would do it from there. And then another thing to pay attention to is the liquidity that's up here. Essentially, any shorts that were formed in this period are going to have stop losses ultimately up here. So there could be some forced buying if we are able to break this level, which I think would take us at least to 26.7. Again, filling this inefficiency here that we've been watching for some time now. Yeah, I think this is probably our most likely scenario, but always there's no guarantee, so we should look at what potential downside could be, where we can look to bid if we get sort of a fake out here and we crash down. We can look to this support level here, which is, only a few ticks away from where we were looking already. And then this prior resistance, we can look to flip support. So let's just make those blue. So yeah, if we pull back, we could do sort of make some sort of bull flag here. Consolidate, come into this area, pick up our longs, and then break out from there. Or, of course, the worst case is you fall below basically 18.5, this local low we have. If you fall below that without an SFP, meaning coming right back above it, if you just fall below, kind of retest, then we're looking at further downside. And potentially even 12.5, but I would say at the very least 17.6. Sweep the liquidity of this low. Yeah, I'm leaning bullish, but we do need to recognize those possibilities as well. Also interesting is ETH underperforming Bitcoin for the first time in a while, which I think is starting to fill that narrative of the merge, kind of sell the news. I think there's some front running going on here. I think we have 2 days left until the merge. So you're seeing some profit taking for sure, and people that probably just want to be either hedged or in Bitcoin or something not connected so much to ETH in case the merge does result in like a minus 30% candle or something like that, I think people are just kind of getting safe right now. But with that said, I mean, you can look at what's going on with ETH lately. We've been loosely following this trail we talked about for months now. Came down, we looked at this inefficiency here. We said this is probably going to get filled. It did. It came all the way down to the support level, 1436, just a touch below it. Came back up, used this inefficiency zone as sort of a demand zone, bounced from it several times, and ultimately came up to the resistance level up here, 1786. And now is pulled back, sitting on support, which there's a fair amount of confluence in this area, 1700. So it's certainly possible we, just form a higher low here, go up from there. But I think we're going to continue seeing some weakness relative to Bitcoin anyways for the next couple days until we're on the other side of the merge. And then from there, we'll see what happens. So let's look at ETH BTC. I think that's interesting right now. Yeah, sort of got that deviation up here. Faked out with new highs and then came back into the range. Just zoom this out a little bit so we can get a better look. So you got this fake, unless this can form a higher low and go from here, that's going to look pretty ugly. I think chances are you come back down mid-range. If we can't form some bullish structure from there, we're going to be looking at the range low, 0.055 or 0.066 is the mid-range. I mean, like I said, there's potential. We just we have sort of an OB here. Excuse my just doodles. So there's potential that we could just come down into it, form an equal or higher low, and like I said, go up from there. But I think more likely with the deviation like this and a couple days until the merge, I think it's possible we end up going below that, coming down, tagging the midpoint, and then we're going to just look for what the structure does from there. So that's that. We have the S&P. Looks decent. We're getting some bullish structure here. Right, higher lows, higher highs. Kind of front ran. I had been watching this 3,500 level for a potential soft landing zone, as Powell would call it. But we're getting a little bullish structure here. And the only reason we're looking at this is just because the crypto market's so correlated to it. You don't have to be interested in stocks. It's just kind of something we have to look at. So demand zone here potentially holds, rejects, and then we still have the possibility of coming down to this level. Otherwise, we need to consolidate here, put in a higher low, tag it again, break through it, come up for a higher high. There's potential for something like that for sure. So it's just something to watch. We're going to want to see what happens when we get into that supply zone there and whether or not bulls are able to break it. See, not much else to cover. We had Poop over the weekend, Poop Coin, which is the governance token of Rare Sama. If you follow Donnie Big Bags on Twitter, or a lot of other people on Twitter. I'm sure you've heard of it. So was able to get the group into that for currently about a 3x in a weekend. So that was a solid move. Happy about that. Starting to take some profits and sort of take some risk off the bag, but certainly we'll be looking for pullbacks to add more to that. I don't have that on TradingView, so I won't be able to show you. We can look at it during the stream, and we can talk more about that. But for now, I guess that's going to be it for the recording. Thank you for watching. Feel free to subscribe, like, all those things, YouTube likes. And we'll see you next Monday.